Taking a look at traffic today, the heat is starting to have an impact on our roads. NCDOT says the pavement buckled on Salem Parkway between Macy Grove Road and Sandy Ridge Road. We're told that repairs will begin today. Now let's get a look at your traffic this morning. Right now at this hour, Greensboro police say there's a couple of road closures in Greensboro due to downed power lines. Both directions of Randleman Road are closed from South Street to O'Connor Street, and Florida Street between Randleman Road and Marsh Street is also closed in both directions. We've not received a word yet on when these roadways will reopen, but drivers are told to avoid these areas.
Thank you, Adriana. It is 6:03 right now. North Carolina has its first case of measles.
We've learned it's a child who spent several days here in the Triad. Our Aaron Burnett joins us now.
So Aaron, what have you learned about the child?
Right now, state health officials are saying that the child was visiting Forsyth and Guilford counties and is from a country where measles outbreaks are being reported right now. We still don't know exactly how old the child is or where the child is from. They also add that this isn't surprising because they say outbreaks have been happening across the U.S. and right now the measles vaccination rates in Forsyth and Guilford counties are both above 90%.
We knew this was coming. We have had, unfortunately, across the U.S. and globally, a banner year for measles cases. As my colleagues in Guilford and Forsyth and I were commenting, it was really a matter of when we would get a case in North Carolina and not if. So we have been working very hard to prepare at the state and local level.
The state has released a list of places where people may have been exposed to the child starting on June 19th, and this includes PTI Airport, the Greensboro Science Center, the Greensboro Aquatic Center, and the Sleep Inn Hotel in Kernersville. And for a full list of locations, you can head to our website, WXII12.com. In Winston-Salem, I'm Aaron Burnett, WXII 12 News.
Aaron, thank you. Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools is chipping away at its budget shortfall that's in the tens of millions.
Our Kelly Kendall was at last night's meeting where the interim superintendent, Kathy Moore, shared an update on the status of the school district.
Speaking about this year's budget deficit, Interim Superintendent Kathy Moore said the district will pay all of its vendors by June 30th, with the exception of 3 with contracts totaling $16 million. The district is looking at payment plan options for those vendors. She says one of the biggest budget issues remaining now is at least $18 million in state overages for this year. Looking at next year's budget, Moore says the district is planning $44 million in savings. This includes school principals looking at reducing and moving staff. Moore says all but one school has completed this work, and the board will soon be provided with a list of what has been done. She added changes will need to be monitored.
As early as November, we gather feedback from those that were impacted by some of these changes to help begin to identify budget priorities for the next year. I met with principals recently, that association that you have of principals and assistant principals, and I told them, I said, I expect you to demand that the reductions made at school be reinstated.
There's been a lot of public scrutiny of the district's most recent personnel report because it includes 53 terminations. Moore says these positions are not a part of budget reduction efforts, but were caused by staff failing to meet certain licensure requirements by the end of the school year. Moore said the district is continuing to work with the IRS on federal withholding issues. She says all payments were submitted and some might have been late. On top of that, some corresponding reports were not submitted. It's not clear if or how much this could add to the deficit. The district is also working with the state auditor's office, which is working on an investigative audit. Moore said the report will likely detail the district's, quote, missteps, mismanagement, and, quote, lack of competence.
I don't think it'll be a flattering report. And I think it will be important for us to look at it from the lens of how did we get here, but how do we never come here again?
And that was Kelly Kendall reporting. The board also adopted an interim budget resolution that will allow it to operate even though the state legislature has not finalized this budget.
Moore presented a lengthy list of next steps as well, indicating the budget work is far from over. The board has called for a special meeting set for July 8th. Right now on our website, you can find a full breakdown of the school district's financial issues and the measures leaders are still taking to address it.
In Raleigh, hundreds gathered in protest of a bill to ban inland shrimping.
It's called House Bill 442. It would ban commercial shrimp trawling in inshore waters, including the Sounds.
It passed the Senate last week with only 4 coastal lawmakers voting against it. On Monday, senators approved a plan to pay commercial fishermen impacted by the proposal. But many in the industry say it's not enough and the ban will put them out of business. The bill now heads to the House.
Taking a live look over Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C. at this hour, where the Senate could vote this week on President Donald Trump's sweeping domestic policy legislation. President Trump says he wants to sign what he calls his big, beautiful bill by July 4th. GOP leaders are scrambling to secure enough support to pass it with a simple majority. One sticking point is Medicaid. The Senate plan could cut it more deeply than the House version. GOP leaders hope to hold a Senate floor vote on this bill this week.